What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk about something that Paul Pierce said today. You know, Paul Pierce said that he believes that Luka Doncic in his second season is an even better player than LeBron James was in his sophomore year, all the way back in 2004, 2005, when he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Um, Now, it's interesting with Paul Pierce because about a year ago, Paul Pierce said that he didn't even think that Luka Doncic was quite an all-star yet. So he's evolved from going that in his rookie year, Luka Doncic was not even playing at an all-star level to believing that Luka Doncic trajectory, at least, is superseding even that of LeBron. Now, of course, he's not saying historically LeBron James is a better player. Uh, I think no one will really say unless you're the most ardent LeBron hater in the world. Uh, but it is an interesting change in his opinion of Luka Doncic. And it comes on the heels of what Scottie Pippen said last week when he thought that this season Luka Doncic has been the better player of the two as well. I did a video about this last week where I said that I think, in my opinion, when you consider the rules, when you consider the game, when you consider what both players did each respective season, and their teammates and their help, if you want to use that term, I think that what LeBron did was more impressive. Now, true, LeBron's team didn't make the playoffs that year, and that would be the last time LeBron wouldn't make a playoff with a team until last year. I think they went 42-40 that year. But that was, I think, the first time Cleveland had been above 500 in some years. You know what I'm saying? And you could see they were on the right path. The year before that, I think they were maybe 35-47, or something like that. So you could see they were on the right trajectory as far as uh, success and finally making a playoff push, which they made the next year. Uh, Dallas has superseded expectations so far this year. I think they're fifth in the Western Conference, and they made a note of it that they actually have the best road record in the NBA, but it's at home where they struggle. They're only 11-8 at home, and if they had a better home record, that they probably would be like a top three team in the NBA. But what does all this mean? You know what I'm saying? Like this guy saying Luka's better, that guy saying LeBron's, better or whatever. Well, obviously, and I've said this before. Don't get me wrong. Luka Doncic is an exceptional player. He's putting up exceptional numbers. He's averaging better than 29 points, over 9 rebounds, and well over 9 assists per game. So he's going to have a lot of triple doubles this season. Now, all of a sudden, like I said in my other video, when guys like Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic get triple doubles, it's all because of their intelligence and how they read the game and their dominance and, how they excel at scoring and rebounding and playmaking. And it just goes to show how dominant they are. But when guys like LeBron James and especially Russell Westbrook get triple doubles, it's because they're forcing the issue and, they're not making the right basketball play at each time. And, they're selfish and stealing rebounds and padding their numbers. You know what I'm saying? So I do kind of get rubbed the wrong way when I see these biases in the media and in the fan base, even you guys. I don't see some of you dudes accusing Luka of stat padding, even though it's obvious that he does do it. But at the end of the day, the media recognizes that the NBA is a global sport now, and you can make an argument that for the first time in our history, sports history, the last couple of years, that the best players in the NBA are not necessarily homegrown. You know, the game has been heavily influenced as far as the European style of basketball. Here you have Luka Doncic, a European basketball player. Uh, he's more of a perimeter-oriented player, which is more popular. Let's be honest. Big men have never really been the face of the NBA in modern times. Uh, the last time I think the most popular player in the league was a big man was probably back. I would have to go. I mean, you could make an argument in 93, 94, maybe it was Shaq Robinson, Elijah Wan, but the guy that really dominated the NBA landscape wasn't even playing that year. Consistently, probably the most popular, I guess Kareem, maybe, but yeah, Dr. J in the ABA and NBA. I would say indisputably since the 1960s. That's the last time when it was Wilt and Bill Russell. But generally speaking, in the Jordan era and post, it's been perimeter players that have been the most popular. Uh, so you got that, and then you can't dance around the issue that Luka is white. Okay, and one of the weaknesses of the NBA over the past 20 to 30 years, definitely the last 20 years, has been the hemorrhaging of white fans in the United States. We used to look at the old records, look at the old averages as far as ratings are concerned. You look at the 80s, and you consistently saw 20 to 25 million, sometimes up to 30 million people watching the NBA Finals. And we're talking about back when the population of the United States was over 100 million plus people fewer. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, nowadays the NBA ratings, for the most part, are way, way down. So, of course, the NBA and sports in general want to make it a more fan-friendly game, want to make it a type of game where individuals who are watching, when they say fan-friendly, to me, I think what they're really saying is they want to make it so that the audience watching at home is as big as possible. Not just dad sitting in his recliner with his beer and maybe Junior, but a game that appeals maybe to mom too. You know what I'm saying? Not as violent, not with the hard fouls, which might turn off some women. They also are trying to make it more individualistic. Based more on just individuals and star players rather than talking about the team. That's why you can talk to the average non-sports fan and they'll know who LeBron James is. They'll know who Kobe Bryant was. You know what I'm saying? They probably know who Steph Curry is. In maybe 5 years, maybe they'll know who Giannis Antetokounmpo is. At least they'll know who Giannis is. We say Giannis. Um, but at the same time, that does hurt the game when it comes to purists. People who have watched the NBA for decades and miss the old school commentators who actually informed and educate as well as entertain. I think one of the best analysts that I've ever heard in 30 years of watching the NBA was Hubie Brown. When you listen to Hubie Brown, he used to educate you about basketball, as well as being entertaining. Now, he's showing his age a little bit now, but Hubie Brown was exceptional. Now you have guys who kind of like they're reading from a script, like some Soviet era bullshit, where if you go off script, they drag you behind a curtain and blow your brains out, then replace you with some other stiff. You know what I'm saying? If you don't stick to the script, that's kind of the experience I hear now when I'm listening to these commentators. It's like they're reading from a fucking script, like WWE. And I know I'm going on a tangent off script of what I'm talking about with the video, but that's why I'm too raw for TV, because I don't give a fuck. I don't have a filter. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's basically why I think they're doing this Luka versus LeBron shit. I've been telling you guys for ever since Luka got in the NBA and I saw this guy with the goods. I've been warning you that this is what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I told you that they were going to start sucking this dude dick real soon, and that did happen. And I've been telling LeBron fans, that they're going to start pissing you off because they're going to start saying shit that is blasphemous. Like Luka's a better scorer. Luka's a better shooter. Luka's a better player. Even though Luka gets away with not being not that LeBron was the greatest defensive player, but in his prime he put effort on defense at least. Luka doesn't do that. He's 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? I honestly, when I look at Luka Doncic, although he does shoot a high percentage overall, he's still only 32% from 3-point range. All right. He sometimes has a terrible shot selection. He doesn't play defense, and he stat pads. So there's some areas of his game, even though they want to compare him to James Harden and Bird and all these other people, and LeBron. There's some parts of his game that is a little Russell Westbrookish. You know what I'm saying? But that, of course, gets glossed over. I think that LeBron James is a better player. You know what I'm saying? Historically. I can't see, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember watching LeBron those first 7 years in Cleveland. Okay? Although I do think it gets overstated when some LeBron fans say shit like, he did this with a bunch of bums or he dragged a bunch of bums. Come on, man. It's not like LeBron was coming out there scoring 50 and 60 and grabbing 20 or 30 rebounds and getting 30 assists again. Like, that pisses me off when I hear them say that. I know what they're alluding to, but in my opinion, what Kobe did in 05-06 was better than anything LeBron did individually in any season in his career. If you're talking about taking on a load, okay? Because if you look at that roster in 05-06 for the Lakers outside of Kobe, that was the worst roster, I think, in Lakers history. Or if it's not the worst roster in Lakers history, it's damn near one of the worst. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I go back to like the late 1950s or some shit when they almost folded as a franchise to find the worst roster. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? The modern era, what Kobe did, what Kobe was able to do, score 35.4 points per game, all right? In a league where the league team average was still only 97 points per game. I think the Lakers averaged like 99 points per game, 98 points per game that year, and he was able to average 35.4. That's remarkable. I looked at the numbers and I sort of like put him like in today's league. If he was playing today, that version of Kobe would have been averaging like close to 41 points per game right now. And we marvel at James Harden putting up 38. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think what LeBron did his first couple of years in the NBA were great. You know what I'm saying? I understand where they're coming from with this, but I think when you look at what LeBron had working for him at that time, as far as roster is concerned, and the way LeBron James was able to dominate the game in so many ways in his prime, other than just scoring. Because I'm telling you, man, a lot of people like get mad at me, man. Like they get mad at me at all different sides because they'll be like, man, why you shit on LeBron so much? It's like, because I remember LeBron when he was like, look, man, the LeBron James that you guys are seeing today is nothing compared to LeBron James from 10 years ago or 11 years ago. All you gotta do is look at a game. Just look at a full game of LeBron James from when he was with Cleveland in 2007 or 2008. And you tell me, if you put him on the Lakers today, they're winning the championship. You know what I'm saying? I can just look at the differences. He's lost a lot as far as his lateral quickness, he's lost a step. You know what I'm saying? He's slower. You know, so he can't do some of the things athletically that he was able to do 10 years ago. But he's still, in my mind, top 10 overall player in his 17th season in the NBA. That's something that very few players have been able to accomplish this far in their career. So I get the comparisons with LeBron to an extent with Luka, but I don't like when they keep doing this. Is this guy better than this guy in this year compared to this guy this year? And is he who's had a better fifth season, with a headache? You know what I'm saying? Wow. You know, I'm just tired of that shit, man. It's so annoying, you know? But if you want to play that game, be honest. Look at the whole picture, be unbiased, and at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, with you look at the rules that players had to play in at that time, players were still able to hand check to a degree. You know what I'm saying? It was the defenders were not as handcuffed, back then as they are now. Guys were still, if they weren't able to use their hands, they were still able to, do certain things. They're still able to put the elbow in you. They're still able to grab at you, knock you off stride. They were still able to do certain things, even though they were cutting out hand checking, but you were still able to do shit. And the way that the game was played was so much slower. I think the league average for points was like 92, 93 points per game on average, compared to now it's 110, 111 points. Totally different game, man. And LeBron was still able to average 27, I think 7 and close to 8 or something like that in a league where it was totally different. So that's pretty much all I got to say about it, man. Tell me what you guys think.